Okay, so this is going to be our Unit 3 Day 1 lesson video. Um, on it, well, we're going to discuss everything there. But first, I want to say make sure that you get the do now done. Okay, this video is being made solely because I'm not there, right? So follow the instructions of the sub and make sure you get this do now done. The instructions for the do now are here. There's also another video on Blackboard that you can use to help baby you through 1 through 6 on the do now. Okay, so Unit 3, Day 1, we're talking about special segments of circles. Obviously, you're going to want to start your notes with the unit title here. So, the unit title, we're starting Unit 3 because this is the first day of the third 9 weeks. So, this unit is going to be about intermediate trigonometry, a little bit more advanced trigonometry. We're going to learn about arcs starting today a little bit, and we're going to learn about perimeter. Okay, so to get things rolling, what is a radius? So let's pretend I had perfect eyes and I knew that was the center C of that circle, right? A radius is a segment, it's a segment that extends from the center of a circle out to the arc itself, right? And the easiest way to define that is simply that it is the distance. It's the distance um, from a circle center to the arc itself, right? So in the do now, you drew a 4 centimeter radius circle, right? And every single point on this 360-degree arc was the exact same distance from this center of the circle, right? So that said, okay, it doesn't matter where I put a point on this 360-degree arc, it's always going to be the same distance equal to the radius uh, of the circle. Okay, so EQ2, what is a central angle? Well, a central angle is simply a angle. We'll say angle slash vertex. It's really better to say a vertex. An angle or vertex formed by two radii. Okay, in case you forgot, radii, that's plural for radius. So let's look and see, well, what is a central angle going to look like? So let's say I put a third point, point B, here on the 360-degree arc on the circle, right? And I connect it to point C, right? So what we can say here definitively is that both segments are radii because they go from the circle center to the arc itself. So AC is a radius, right? And so too is BC, a radius. Okay, now back to what is a central angle? Well, a central angle, perfect example, is this angle right here. The angle BCA is a central angle. And why is that? Well, duh, it's an angle formed, it's a vertex formed, right? It's a vertex or an angle formed by two radii. Okay, so EQ3, what is a chord? A chord is simply a segment that connects 2 points on a circle. Okay, so I'm going to connect 2 points on this circle here. Let's call this A, B, right? And I'm going to connect points A and B on this arc. Okay, and that right there would be a chord because it's a segment that connects 2 points on a circle. Simple enough. Okay, so what is a diameter? A diameter is a chord that passes through the center of a circle. Okay, so if I say, this right here, this point C is the center of the circle, and I go ahead and, let's say, let me get a ruler because I need to quit just winging it. And I go ahead and draw a chord going from here to here. Call this point D, point E. Okay, well, we can say that both segments AB and DE, both of those segments are chords, right? We know that because they connect 2 points on a circle. However, segment DE is a diameter. Okay, it's a diameter because it's a chord that passes through the center of a circle. Okay, and last thing on this page, so EQ5. What is an inscribed angle? Okay, so an inscribed angle is an angle slash, again, it's better to say a vertex, an angle slash a vertex um, formed by two chords. Okay, so a central angle is formed by two radii, right? An inscribed angle, however, is formed by two chords. So let's say I put another point here. That's a fifth point now on the arc, right? And we're going to call this point F, right? And if I connect D and F, just like that, okay, well, I see that I have a vertex, an angle formed. That angle, FDE, would be an inscribed angle precisely because it's an angular vertex formed by two chords. Okay. And one last thing that I forgot to mention on this page, and it has to do with diameters again. Diameter is another interesting side note, and you already know this. A diameter is always 2 times the radius. It's always twice the length of the radius. So back to the do now again, right? The radius on the do now was 4 centimeters, right? So if this was the same circle, if this circle was the same circle from the do now, obviously I know segment DC would be 4 centimeters in length, and segment CE would also be 4 centimeters in length, meaning what? Meaning the diameter would be twice the radius. Okay? Almost done. So EQ6, what is a secant line segment? So a secant line segment is simply a segment, a line or a segment that cuts a circle at 2 points. Okay, what do I mean by that? So let's say I have a segment, starts out here at point A, right? And it goes through this arc, through this circle at points, what we'll call points B and C, right? Well, segment AC would be considered secant to the circle. Why? Because it cuts the circle at 2 points. It cuts the circle at 2 points. Therefore, it is a secant line or segment. In this case, this is a secant ray, right? Because it has a start and no finish. Okay, so secant's relatively easy to understand. Okay, and EQ7, what is a tangent line or segment? So a tangent line or segment, unlike a secant line or segment, it cuts, so it's a line or a segment that cuts the arc, cuts the circle at a single point, at 1 point. Okay, so right here, if I have some point on the circle, and let's say, this line cuts it precisely right there. We'll say it goes from point A to point B, passes through this one single point, right? We would say that segment AB is tangent to this circle, okay? Because it cuts the circle at one single point. Now, an interesting question that always seems to come up is, well, what if I've got, this is point A, or let's do a different letter. This is point X, and it cuts the circle right here. Okay, it goes and it stops right there, right? Well, this is not a tangent. Okay, this is not a tangent segment. So if I call that point Y, so XY is not a tangent segment, okay? Because if it continues, it would cut at a second point, okay? And it has to only cut once, right? So this is not a tangent segment, right? Okay, so that does it for this video. If you have any questions, shoot me an email. I'll be back. I'll see you guys on Tuesday, right? So I hate to not be there. I'll go ahead and apologize in this video. But I had a family emergency and I can't be in class right now. So please do me the favor of being grown enough to take responsibility and take care of your notes, take care of your assignments. All right. Miss you guys. See you soon. Goodbye.